This is the Causes, Events, and Consequences of World War II, Part 1, the causes. There are several feelings that led up to World War II. Nationalistic tension, you guys remember what nationalism is from class, the idea that your nation is better than everybody else. This led to a lot of tension between political groups, and also a lot of resentment from World War I. A lot of countries felt that they didn't get what they deserved, or they got too harsh of a punishment, so they weren't happy. This map shows Europe pre-World War I. You notice the Russian Empire is large, the Austro-Hungarian Empire is large, Germany has a very large nation there too. And this map shows after World War I. You see the difference. You see the Russian Empire is smaller, Germany is smaller, formation of new political countries such as Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Austria and Hungary are now new, and Romania grew very large as well. There were some political groups that were very important in the development of World War II. The Bolsheviks in the Soviet Union. This political group later was known as the Soviet Communists. They were very unhappy because they had lost territories after World War I. Mussolini in Italy. He basically was really kind of heartbroken because he didn't get what he thought he deserved. They ended up helping the Allies in World War I. And they were promised all kinds of rewards, but they never got them. So he was saying, hey, where's my stuff? We helped you guys out. Give us what you said you would. Italy, if you notice on the maps, didn't change at all. They didn't get any bigger, and he wanted to expand the empire. So he was really upset by the results of World War I. And then Hitler, one of the more famous political figures in history. He was huge into nationalistic ideas. He wanted to reestablish Germany to the pre-World War I boundary, so he wanted to get his territory back. But he also had a kind of a racist attitude towards nationalism as well. He thought that all Germans were superior to others. Anyone who was non-Aryan, he felt was inferior and wanted to eliminate them. And this leads into the Holocaust, which we'll talk about in the events part of this unit. He also thought Germany had received some unfair punishment from the Treaty of Versailles. So the Treaty of Versailles, the first thing it determined was that the Rhineland, if you look at that map, Rhineland needed to be demilitarized, which means all military groups leave the Rhineland, and France liked this because it gave a buffer in between France and Germany. This area is rich in coal, and one of the punishments was that Germany had to give France amounts of coal that Germany felt was ridiculous. It was actually an amount demanded that was impossible for Germany to give them, and it would have crushed Germany itself. So this was a little unfair in Hitler's eyes. Germany also had to pay back a lot of money to countries for destruction and other things. And surprisingly, that Germany actually made their last payment in October of 2010. So they were still paying off World War II debts up until 2010. A lot of ethnic groups were separated and divided up. You saw the formation of those new countries. So this really made a lot of people unhappy. A lot of Germans felt that this was too harsh. And nobody likes being separated. So the Weimar Republic was established in Germany, but it was very poor after the events of World War I. So the United States tried to help them out because they were a republic now, and they ended up giving them a large sum of money. However, they defaulted and never paid it back, so that kind of hurt the United States greatly. Even though these punishments were severe, they are not harsh enough to stop Germany from rising up again. Part of the Treaty of Versailles said that Allied troops were going to leave this area in segments, 5, 10, and 15 years. However, they left early. This allowed the Nazis to grow. Hitler kept on gaining popularity for publicly speaking out against the treaty, and also when the Weimar Republic started failing, he said, you know, I know better, we can do better, and people started supporting him. So what happened? The night of the long knives. Hitler and his military police literally went and killed all the remaining politicians of the Weimar Republic. This established the Third Reich, Hitler's political party, his political group. They also remilitarized the Rhineland. And what's kind of amusing about this is the German soldiers actually rode in on bicycles. They were uncontested. Nobody tried to stop them whatsoever. And they literally rode in on bicycles. So while all that's going on, there is a resource competition in Asia. China had been giving natural resources to Great Britain and the United States, and Japan had been locked out completely of that. And they were not happy about this. They wanted to dominate that market. So in 1937, they started the campaign, Asia for the Asians, and they invaded China. So as a response to that, our president at the time, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, cut off all oil supply to Japan. We were sending them barrels of oil, helping them out, and he cut it off. We gave them economic sanctions, and this kind of left Japan with an option. They either back out or they go to war. Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941. Pearl Harbor is attacked, one of the worst attacks in U.S. history, along with Italy invading Ethiopia and Albania. And on top of that, the USSRs, the Soviet Union, they were getting an assault from Germany when Germany decided to attack the USSR and Poland. They invaded Poland, took over Poland, and Hitler believed that if they were quick and relentless against the Soviet Union, that they were going to be able to stop them. Why? Because the Soviet Union had left 1.5 million troops over on the border of China because they were afraid Japan was going to come in. Now, Japan had said they weren't going to, and they continued to try and expand their empire south, but there was no trust, so they left their troops there. So with that amount of troops over on the East Coast, eastern borders, and then we have the German full assault on the western borders, the Soviet Union was under great attack. This all brought in the United States into World War II.